Hello, everybody. I don't know if there's anybody even watching this, but this is the artist formerly known as Toronto Josh. I have not done any videos on this channel in a long time. I didn't even know what I was going to do with this. All I've been doing is uploading concert footage lately, which is fine. It's awesome footage, and somehow I was able to monetize it. So thanks, YouTube, for not flagging me on that yet.
It's going to be flagged tomorrow.
uh, so the reason we are here today, oh, Jennifer is watching us from the living room, all the way from the living room.
Far, far away.
Yep. So the reason the three of us are getting together, by the way, for those who don't know, I'm Josh, Toronto Josh, now Virginia Josh. With us, we have Andrew H. from Orlando, Florida.
Yes, yes, yes.
And we also have Andrew H.'s friend Brian, who I'm not sure where Brian is from.
I'm up here in foggy San Francisco.
Oh, nice.
Which
Very
is
cool.
fantastic because probably the best announcement to come out today might have been involving your park.
Yeah.
Sure is.
I would probably agree to that, but we are. I was going to say we're jumping ahead of ourselves, but that actually is the first one of this.
In the business, we call that a tease.
Yes, we do. So for those who are watching and have never seen anything that we've ever been a part of, I'm not going to mention any of those things currently, but we have all existed, or at least two of us have existed on other live podcasts before. And we love talking about roller coasters, theme parks, amusement parks, you name it, anything related to that. We are just geeks for it. So we wanted to talk about Cedar Fair stuff today because it was kind of a big deal in some aspects. Um, and we just want to talk, so that's what we're going to do for the next little while.
Yeah, I mean, I think like as you were talking, you, Josh, or Brian, text like earlier, and like I had like a really busy day at work, so I wasn't able to like follow along with all the coverage, and I was like, man, I have like more thoughts on this more than like 140 characters that Twitter will allow me. So it's like I want to get out there and talk about it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It's one of those things that's hard to kind of really react to without, like you said, in less than 140 characters. So
Yeah, and then there's a lot of, and it's interesting because I think there's a lot of stuff, but like there's not like the like super exciting stuff, but there's a lot of like interesting stuff.
yes.
Yeah, definitely, and a lot of stuff that wasn't even just today. A couple of things from a couple weeks ago too for
Yep.
Cedar Fair.
Yeah, they've really been at it for the last little while. So I don't know. Do you guys have a format you want to do? You want to go alphabetical? You want to go by when they've made announcements, or just throw a dart
Let's
in the
go.
wall?
Yeah, like maybe I'm looking at your lovely or Jen's lovely cheat sheet here. To keep track of everything, and I think it's alphabetical. So I say we just go that because I
Sure.
can't remember which one did which first. So.
All right. Well, going alphabetical means we go with probably what was the biggest announcement out of stuff today, and that was
So
that
much,
Sorry, what was that, Brian?
so much for the tease.
Yeah, I know, right? You know what? Good point. Let's save that one. We'll come back to that. We'll circle back.
And let's just pause and say, what's up, Ryan Wilcox, watching in the chat room there.
Yeah,
He's
Ryan.
like, somehow I sub to this, don't quite know what that means. But hey, Ryan, what's up? And why don't you, we're at 7 people, so why don't you try to make it up to 10? You probably know a few coaster nerds.
Yes.
The link out there.
Yes. I think, Ryan, you subbed to this channel a while back, when I was actually known as Toronto Josh on nameless shows. So that's where you probably ended up getting this from my Twitter or something like that. So thank you for doing that. And now you get to watch us again.
We'll make it good for you, Ryan. We'll make it worth your time.
Well, don't make promises. I haven't done a live show in a while. Don't make promises. You're the veteran now. All right, so let's skip the big one. Let's skip California's Great America for now. Going alphabetical. Hold on, give me 1 second here. I'm just having 1 second here. Sorry. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So Canada's Wonderland did not announce anything.
Basically, what they said was, "You moved away. We don't care."
Pretty much. It's funny. I was in contact recently with the PR person. That I think now the third or fourth PR person that's cycled through that park in the last 3 years. And when they replied to my email, they called me John. So, oops. But they are teasing stuff to people. So I think something will come from that. We'll get more into that speculation later on. But Carowinds, that's our first big announcement. So Andrew, do you want to go through what they announced today, if you remember everything?
Yeah. So I think Carowinds was probably something they've been teasing the biggest and the most for probably the longest, and nothing. I mean, it's pretty much they put it out there. It was just the details. They got the four new flat rides, which is pretty cool. Kind of unique new rides, and I think probably the bigger story out of it as a theme park nerd, is the fact like how well done the area looks. Like they're not just like, I was not really looking forward to this because I'm like, oh, they're just going to throw flat rides around the park, but they seem to have built like a cool little area in the park that they'll be throwing these rides in and kind of really sprucing up the park, which is good because I mean I think Carowinds has some fantastic rides now, but the park like kind of left a little bit to be desired. I think it's very bare bones. So I think kind of sprucing it up with some like some cool landscaping, some cool architecture, I think it's kind of cool. So they announced that the 4 new flat rides, and then the Winterfest, which is coming not this year but next year, and I think that's no surprise to anyone since Carowinds, or Charlotte rather, has fairly decent weather. So.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. Just going through the names of the rides, I'll see if I can remember them all, or what they were, rather. We got the Do-Si-Do, which I believe was a troika. We've got the Electro Spin, which is the Mondel Top Scan, I believe. Rock and Roller, which looks like a Music Express. I don't know if that's the actual name of them or not, but that's what I'll refer to them as.
Yep.
And the Zephyr, which is a swings ride.
So I have to ask, is Lisa P going to be back?
Lisa P.
Lisa P.
Josh, you don't get it?
No.
Oh, you need to.
Oh no.
You need to go watch it. You never saw Adventureland, the movie?
Oh!
Lisa P.
Lisa P is back. Lisa P.
It's been a while since we watched that movie, but I do remember that now. Yep. I love the area, like you said, where they're putting this. I think it's great because it's right between. It was kind of a dead area over there. You'd walk back there. There's a water park. I don't think there was an entrance for the water park there. I think you kind of got to still walk a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of between the boomerang and their arrow corkscrew.
Yeah, so I think it adds a little area over there. Kind of the renderings. Am I the only one who thought of County Fair at Dollywood, or whatever they call their area?
It is pretty county fair, like Dollywood or Silver Dollar City. I think has the more county fair type area over there. But it looks gorgeous. I always love seeing a nice midway with some good flat rides on it. With a boomerang to us is probably not the most exciting coaster, or the most enjoyable. It is the most enjoyable boomerang of the chain since it got the nice shoulder restraints. But it makes for a nice backdrop for some of these rides too.
Totally agree, and that's the other thing. We don't have it in our chart there, but the Boomerang Carolina Cobra is now being called the Flying Cobras, and is getting an aviation stunt pilot theme. So of course Jen loved that.
She's probably the only person.
Oh, Andrew is breaking up. Uh-oh. We've never had any Florida internet issues ever before.
Never.
No, this is the first. You were saying about Jen might be the only person
to ever want to ride a boomerang.
I don't know if that's going to be enough to make her. Actually, it is. I think it's the only one left. The only ride left in the park she has not ridden.
I was going to say, is this probably like the only time a boomerang has ever actually got any kind of theming? So we'll see.
Yeah.
There was that one boomerang. I don't remember where we were, Andrew. Maybe you do. That was themed to. It was like a rip off of Rock and Roller Coaster.
I don't remember this.
Somewhere, not Japan, but maybe Germany or something. I don't remember where it was.
I probably went on it and then it beat me to death and I forgot about it. So. As Six Flags used to call their
Specifically
SLCs,
intending.
a mind eraser.
That is true. That is true.
Speed of sound, Ryan Wilcox is saying.
Speed of sound.
There it is.
Ryan, do you know where that is?
He'll probably reply.
RCTP on that one.
Exactly.
So what do you guys think about Winterfest coming to Carowinds?
No surprise. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for all these winter events. It's a great opportunity. While you might not have all the coasters open, you might not have every part of the park open. It's a great opportunity for Cedar Fair to put some money into their parks and really get their infrastructure up and running, especially when it comes to lighting, to special event technologies and things like that. To tease a little bit when we're going to talk about Great America, I did a winter walk with Ace a couple months ago before the park opened for the current season, and they were talking all about how they've really got to work hard during the current season just to get a lot of the infrastructure in place to put up lights, sound systems, all that good stuff for everything they want to do for Winterfest. So it's a great opportunity for the entire chain to, if they're going to get these, they're going to get some nice upgrades. You'll see through the whole year.
I guess the general theme for all the Winterfests that were announced that we'll talk about throughout this was anyone surprised or taken aback that it was for 2017 versus this coming holiday season, or?
Yeah, I think that kind of threw me. Someone did bring up a good point that by announcing it now, they're trying to drive season pass sales for next year, since it's included with certain season pass levels. But I don't know. Like I still think it's going to confuse a lot of people about this upcoming year, and I still think it could have been something they announced last year to get people to buy season passes for the following year. Like, hey, buy your season pass in October, we'll throw in Winterfest, and you buy your 2018 pass, and we'll throw in Winterfest. So I think it's a little weird they jumped the gun on it. Especially considering they kept saying Great Americas was going to be the test, and now it's like, we don't need to test it, we'll just add it everywhere.
Right. So do you think it's going to be included in your pass admission or an upcharge event like Haunt?
I don't know.
I think it's gold passing up.
Yep.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what they're saying for Great America here. It'll be gold passing up. I think they'll probably continue with that because they really want to get those gold pass sales
That makes sense.
as early as possible. And in talking about thinking if it's calling Great America a test, I think really what they wanted to test was the infrastructure and seeing what you needed in place to put it together and how long it'll take.
Did either of you watch the live announcement from Carowinds today?
No.
No.
Okay, if you get a chance, you do not have to watch all of it because you might want to just, smash your screen. But the granny character, that was part of it. They went like an old-timey county fair kind of thing, or country fair, and they had like an old grandmother character and an old-timey mayor, the mayor that's been talking about more. That kind of
Bottoms or something.
Yeah, something like that. So they had him and then some other guy. I don't know what he was supposed to be. Like he looked like a milkman or something like that. But the granny character was a little crazy. I could see her being there for like the official kickoff and being like the icon, for lack of a better description, right now. Sorry, I still have Horror Nights on the brain as always.
That's hilarious. So what about this? One last thing from Carowinds for me, I think, is probably the biggest surprise. Like, we all knew they were getting 4 flat rides. We knew Winterfest was probably coming at some point, so it's a little surprising they announced it now. But I was surprised Vortex is not going floorless. I thought we were going to see Vortex go floorless there.
Yeah, I guess they've got too much focused on the other stuff. Maybe save it for another year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're going to put their
money, but I don't know. I was just like, I was kind of expecting that. slash hoping for it because that ride's awful, but.
Yep. Not too much fun.
It was okay. I think they're gonna try and get just pretty much use everything from the announcement we'll make later on. They'll just use all the same graphics and all that stuff if they're gonna do that in 18.
Next year.
Yep, that makes perfect sense. Of the flats that were announced, anything stand out to you guys? Like, I mean, for me, I know whatever they're calling it, the Electro Spin. Not a fan of the name, but I'm a huge fan of the Top Scans, the Mondale rides. Wonderland Shockwave is my favorite flat ride, period, of any park.
Yeah, I think that's awesome to have. I think that park was kind of lacking in flat rides. So, I mean, I think, Coaster Boy definitely would have loved a coaster or something, but I think overall they're doing a great job of just continuing to build that park up for a great all-around visit.
Yeah, a couple times we've been to Carowinds. I think most of them were quick in and out trips. Now I'm much more excited to try and spend some time there and actually go on something more than Fury and Intimidator, Flight Deck.
Let's see. So is that everything with Carowinds, I would say?
Yep. That's everything Carowinds. I don't think they were doing anything else. Maybe a barbecue place. I know somebody. Oh no, that was somewhere else.
Yeah.
Did I?
What? You look confused.
Yeah, hold on. Come on. There we go. I had two videos playing, and I was getting double echo, which is even worse than just single echo. There we go.
The one thing I will add. Oh man, our lights are turning off here. Hold on one sec.
Whoa! It got bright.
Sorry, San Francisco. We got to keep our lights on timers here. Go green, save energy. The one thing I will add about Carowinds was I really enjoyed their marketing campaign. What all the coaster boys like us, are usually get really excited for the big coasters and things like that. This campaign they did, it was a lot of fun. I'd love to call them the hotline and hear all the messages and stuff. It was cool.
Yep, agreed. All right. Moving on to the next park. This little tiny park. Some people may know it, Cedar Point. I know it kind of comes. It's a small little place. So they didn't really announce too much today. They announced the Mean Streak's closing. They've already announced that. That was a previous one other than today. We'll get back to that because that's probably the biggest talking point, really, of anything they've done yet. They've subtly announced that Soak City is now changing its name to Cedar Point Shores, and it's expanding by adding 4 drop slides, which seems to be the same complex at every single other Cedar Fair park that's been adding it. Breakers Express is being renamed to Cedar Point Express, adding about 63 more rooms, and that's that. Getting a little bit of a renovation there. And then Hotel Breakers is adding a 6-story building with about 160 some odd rooms, so that's expanding as well. Don't think I'm missing anything from there.
I think that's everything.
So thoughts?
I think it's interesting the rebranding Soak City. I said this on Twitter earlier, and some people had some good comments on it, but I think it's interesting they just rebranded most of the water parks across the chain to Soak City, and now they're like, bye-bye Soak City. A couple of people did bring up the good point that, with the Carowinds Harbor or Carolina Harbor, that seemed to be hugely successful, so maybe if they rebranded Soak City, kind of reboot it, give it a local theme. One comment that one of my friends pointed out to me was in the press release or whatever, they said Soak City will now have unobstructed views of Lake Erie. And one, in all seriousness, I hope they don't cut down all those trees along the beach there by Magnum because that's pretty cool. And then two, I was like, so are they removing Magnum? Because there's that
Yeah.
giant ass roller coaster between Soak City and the beach. So I don't know how uninstructed they're going to get, but uh, yeah, I mean, I think it's cool they're rebooting the brand, but at the same time, I was kind of just hoping for Soak City's a kind of crappy water park. I was kind of hoping for a little bit more from it, not just the usual Cedar Fair multi-complex slide there thing, but maybe a water coaster or a couple things. I was kind of hoping for just a little bit more.
You know what I'm really hoping that this kind of leads to is just a little bit more on the theming end. Having it right there on the beach. I mean, there's no other water park in the chain that I can think of that's right there on a beach. Yeah, it's water's a little cold, but I'd love to see it try and expand outwards a little bit more, and take on some of that like old timey seaside water park theme. I think that would be great.
That would be cool.
I agree to that. I love the name change. Wonderland, I don't know, I could be wrong, but it seems that Wonderland's the first park that's really starting to rename a lot of its restaurants and areas to parts that are surrounding the area. Like they've renamed a lot of the restaurants this year to be very Canadian and very to the point of the surrounding Toronto area and the Vaughan area, which I thought was brilliant. Still be corporate, still be kind of, copy paste attractions, but still make it a little bit your own. And doing this, Cedar Point Shores does that. You still have the copy and paste attractions, but now it seems a little more unique to the point.
Yeah, I thought, and now Brian has me thinking here, like maybe they do expand it out towards, because just to get like super nerdy here, I'm thinking I don't know exactly where this Breakers edition is going. I don't know if they announced it. There's not a lot of space over there, and parking's always been like I've never been to Breakers when it's full, but I've heard horror stories that like the parking for Breakers fills up super fast. So I almost wonder like where they're going to put that 160 more rooms. That's 160 potential more cars. So I wonder if like some of that land clearing. I know in the renderings it shows that's where some of the new stuff is going, but I wonder if they are going to blow Soak City out towards the lake a little bit and eat into a little bit of the Challenge Park area for more parking.
I'm gonna send you guys. I don't know if you did the super nerdy Google Map thing, but I'm just looking at it now, and I have no idea where the hell they're gonna put this. I'm sending it to you guys on Facebook. But keep talking amongst yourselves in the meantime.
So it's interesting they're changing the Breaker Express name. I think the Breakers Express name was kind of cool because it kind of simulated like, hey, we are Hotel Breakers, just a little bit cheaper. Cedar Point Express sounds janky. It sounds like what you would find on in the middle of Sandusky,
Yep.
like a Chili's 2.
Yeah. Okay, so I got your photo, Josh.
Yeah. Where the hell would they put this other tower? Like, do you get rid of that little parking lot area between the current building and Challenge Golf?
That's what I'm thinking. That little sliver of land there.
How close can you get to the water there?
I don't think you can go out on the beach. So I think, and if you, I think if you go under where it says Hotel Breakers, that lot down there, that's getting into a maintenance area. So I don't know if you build something there and have like a direct view into your maintenance. So I feel like it would have to be from that main entrance into the hotel, that long skinny thing upwards. So maybe that area, if you're looking like where there's that little bus icon, this is great for all the people who. But so if you're following along in Google Maps, it'd be like the area between the main entrance right now and kind of in front of that big tower they have. Yeah. Look at that. Yep. That grassy area right there.
Yeah.
So I think that could be possible. that's a lot of rooms. And I guess that's where I've been calling on Twitter for the longest time. I was like, hey, they keep saying big money is being spent next year, but we're not hearing any big rides. Well, a 160-room hotel, that's going to cost you a pretty penny to make. I think I remember when Breakers Express originally was built with like 200 rooms or something. It cost them like $20 million. So I'm sure this at 160 rooms in today's prices is probably going to be 30-40 million. So.
And I know they were talking about accommodations coming in. A lot of the Wonderland fanboys were thinking it was going to be up there. But I guess this seems to be where they're going with accommodations.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because, like, I remember when I went to Wonderland, like, you could, there's so many hotels nearby that I feel like you could just stay any of them. So if they built a hotel, they would have to be, like, super competitive on their rate. Whereas being stuck out on this peninsula here, they pretty much can charge whatever they damn well please because they know there's no other hotel. I know, it's ridiculous. I think Brian and I stayed there like a year or two ago. We had like a room with a view of a wall, and it was the Coaster Mania discount, and it was still like $200 a night or something ridiculous.
That sounds about right.
And we didn't have water.
Yeah, that was during the water main. So luckily we didn't have to pay for one of the nights, but.
Damn. Oh, you went during the water main break?
We left. Like, literally, we were pulling out of the parking lot, and, like, I think Brian goes, why is the parking lot flooded and there's, like, 10 cop cars and stuff like that? We're like, oh, that's interesting, and we, like, just keep driving. And, like, we pulled over, you know, we're driving down to Kings Island, so, like, 2 hours later, we stopped at a rest area, and we were pulling up our phones. I'm like, oh, crap, Cedar Point's closed.
Oops.
Yep. So...
Hopefully their new rooms got some good plumbing in there.
Yeah. So I think it shows that Cedar Point is really trying to build themselves out as a destination. I think that's the main takeaway here. I think, and as a fanboy, I think you can read it as this is only a sign of good things to come. They're not investing in putting in a huge new hotel, a huge new water park if they don't plan on putting in big new rides in the future. I think this is just the ramp up for, you know, big stuff to come.
Yep, seems about right.
Totally.
Now, with what they have announced, so between Breakers and the water park expansion, let's go to the topic of Mean Streak. Do we see anything happening with it for 2017? Do they have the money to do it?
I don't think we're...
Especially after Valraven.
Yeah, I was on the... I know there's a lot of people who are like, oh, it's going to be 2018. I was on the 2017 bandwagon up until like 9 o'clock this morning. But I think... Because it feels weird to close it. I think... I don't know. I think I was under the impression it was going to be like RMC. The fact that if we assume that nothing's going to happen to it for 2018, then I have to think... or for 2017, I have to think it might be a full removal, or it might not just be like Texas Giant where they reprofile some hills. If they're RMCing it, it's going to be something completely drastic. Maybe keep the lift hill and like the signature first turn, and then the rest of the things going down.
Now this might be crazy. I have nothing to base this on, but what I'm kind of thinking is exactly what you're saying. They're going to keep the lift hill, but I'm thinking it might be GCI. I'm thinking it might be GCI rebuilding the rest of that ride. Not in the same profile, but using a lot of the same infrastructure, maybe using some of the wood. But that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yep. I would love to see it as close to its current. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It is a very photogenic and very iconic looking coaster. It's one of the most beautiful coasters, in my eyes at least, ever built.
Yeah, it's on all the Six Flags T-shirts out there.
Zing.
Yep. So I'd love to see it keep that magistry and that iconic look. And I haven't seen an RMC coaster yet, really, that looks like that. Yes, they're awesome. I will not deny RMCs are awesome. But I've not seen anything that has that visual oomph like Mean Streak did. So I'd like to see it keep that. I don't know. I don't see anything happening with it for 2017 except for teardown. That's it.
Yeah. I definitely think this puts it more in a. If you're thinking they're just going to put some iron horse and add a couple loops and a couple different hills, I think this means no. I think this means it's going to be probably 75% at least taken down and then ground up. So.
Yep.
So do we move from something that's really exciting to something that's not exciting at all?
Yes, we do. So what's next on the list?
Dorney Park.
Woohoo! I love Dorney, by the way. Been there once or twice? Once now. And
It's
actually,
fun story. Last time, so Brian and I both been there a couple different times. And last time we went, we left the park before it opened. We still got there for like season pass holder ERT in the morning or whatever. Did Steel Force, did Talon, and got out of there like 5 minutes before the park actually opened. Because it was literally like we were driving from New York to like Knoebels or something, and it was excuse me, we both had like Cedar Fair passes, so it's like, might as well swing in. It's pretty much on the way. Like,
yeah, I think I did the mouse because I needed the credit for some reason. Yeah, that used to, believe it or not, that was actually my Cedar Fair home park in the 90s, living in New Jersey. So I love that park. I think it's a great little park, but there hasn't been anything added there that's drawn me back in the past 5 or 10 years.
20 years.
Yeah, Jen corrected me. It was one time that we've been there. But yeah, no, it's one of the most beautiful Cedar Fair parks I've been to, and I was very surprised for that. Like I always put, not because it was my home park, but I always put Wonderland up there in terms of landscaping when it comes to Cedar Fair. But Dorney came very close, or in some cases even beat it. But that's a whole other story. Let's talk mostly about what they have announced. They are going with Dodgems, which are bumper cars, and Kaleidoscope, which is a troika. So that is now 2 troikas for 2017.
Not troika. Oh, hey, see what I did there?
I did. We actually wrote it, or I wrote it as troika the first time, and I was like, oh crap, that's not what it's actually called.
It auto-corrects to it.
Yeah, pretty much. I created a meme, which I have not released yet, that basically says, troika, Cedar Fair's Larson Loopers.
Nice. At least there's no question if they're a roller coaster or not. They are not.
They are not.
I think it's awesome they're getting bumper cars. Who doesn't like bumper cars? But I was actually more surprised they didn't already have bumper cars. So that was kind of like, they're like, we're adding bumper cars. And I was like, oh, you don't have bumper cars now? Okay.
They do have a whip, which is awesome. I think.
Yeah, I love that.
The oldest whip, was it theirs or Knoebels? One of them.
Or Hershey.
I think Hershey is the oldest.
Sorry, you're right. Hershey's the oldest, and I think Dorney is very close to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm excited for both of these because I think they're great old school looking rides for a park that prides itself on being an original trolley park.
I don't know. I'm excited. More flat rides. That's great. I'm just confused on these old style rides coming back. I'm a little not weirded out, but I'm just confused. I don't get it.
It's one of those things like you took them out for a reason. Like I don't know. I feel like none of these parks were like just randomly like, let's bulldoze this ride. Like if you took these rides out, it was probably because no one was riding them or because they were a maintenance nightmare. So I can see like throwing them in for like a vintage something, but no one. There's a reason you took them out before. So that's why this whole like flat ride. Like if it was really unique flat rides, like something like some of those crazy stuff you see in Europe, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. Like that's cool. Or those like flat rides that, you know, like the rotors or stuff. Like okay, that's cool. They're bringing that back. But like to bring back bumper cars that like every local fair has, it's like if you had them before and you got rid of them, it's probably for a reason.
See, I think they're trying to capitalize on this nostalgia craze of the past couple of years. Everyone is Throwback Thursday and all that stuff. I think that's really what they're trying to capitalize on, is the kids that went on this stuff when they were young, and now they're bringing their kids. Makes sense. Take a photo, say, I remember these bumper cars from 30 years ago.
Is a bumper car going to sell tickets and passes?
Mm.
No, not when that's your announcement.
Yeah.
Not when that's your new ride for the year, but when you're there, it gets the name of the park out there.
Fair enough. No, I got you there. It fits that park. I think it's good additions for Dorney for sure. I just still think in general, any of these parks that have announced similar rides, it's just weird to see that in, being new for 2017, bumper cars. Just
Yep.
odd.
Yeah.
Their next announcement for the water park is 17 additional cabanas and Sunset Beach Bar, so you can get your drink on.
Nice.
So
Now I have to. They're very clear in their announcement. It is adult. It is an adult bar.
Yes.
It is because apparently in Pennsylvania they have bars for kids. So if you were, if it was a kid bar,
You've never been there.
what's the exact verbiage? It was.
Did I miss this? Hold on, I'm going to Dorney Park site now.
I am not making this up. Like someone actually tweeted that. Like so I'm kind of stealing someone's joke, but.
Whatever. They're not watching this.
There's like 3 people watching, so clearly it's not them. Okay, so the exact verbiage on their press release is a full-service bar for adults.
Yep.
It's only a half for kids.
So that makes me think there must be a thing as full-service bar for kids. So.
Yep. Half pours for kids, full pours for adults.
There you go.
Gotta
ease them into it.
I wonder if this is going to be something where it's ID checker at the door, and you're in beer jail while you're having your beverage at the adult bar.
I'm trying to remember if Dorney was beer jails or not. I can't remember.
I feel like Pennsylvania has some unique liquor laws.
Yeah, I think they are beer jail.
Because I think King's Dominion here is beer jail as well. It's weird. I can never figure out which one's which anymore. So yeah, I mean, cool. Good to see additions to a water park, more revenue stream. So cool.
Oh yes. And that park is more water park than dry park.
Yeah.
Yep. What else did they do? Circumagine. Yes. That to me would sell a ticket.
Really? I was going to go, but I've never seen it, so I guess I can't talk. Is it on par with like the real Cirque shows? Like obviously it's not like the same as going to see like Cirque in Vegas, but like
no.
Is it better than your average theme park thing?
When Cirque Ambiente debuted at Wonderland, which was the first Cirque show in the Cedar Fair chain, I said it was better than any show I've seen in any theme park, including Disney and Universal.
Well then, look at that.
But again, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to think that. If you're really into Cirque-style shows, you're going to enjoy it. Jen really likes the Cirque show here at King's Dominion, Circumagine. We've seen it twice now. It depends on a cast. It depends on the storyline. If they're going with the same other storyline as all the other Circumagines that have been out, yeah, it's a great show. It's probably well above anything that Six Flags does, period. Easily the best show in any Cedar Fair parks. Like, those are the bread and butter. That's my opinion, though. So
there you go.
King's Dominion actually live broadcasted Cirque Imagine today. So if you go to their Facebook page, I believe they showed the entire show, so you can watch it up on there.
Nice.
Yep. And last but not least for Dorney is Parkside Pavilions, 2,000 person capacity. Just your basic, catering area. Why not?
Spruce it up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So speaking of King's Dominion, coming soon. Coming
this Saturday at 11 a.m.
Are you going?
No. We will
You're
not
going.
be
Oh
here.
yeah, you're going south.
Yup. Yeah, it's I think the fact that they've announced their date, they've been teasing, and they're the only, as far as we know, the only Cedar Fair announcement that day. I'm thinking it's going to be bigger than what we saw today. Because right now you've got 3 parks left in chain. Let's just get them out of the way. Wonderland, Kings Dominion, and Michigan's Adventure, aka Cedar Fair, Six Flags America, have not announced anything. So those are the last 3 parks. I don't know if Michigan Adventure's been teasing anything. I don't follow them, or at least closely. But
They're
Kings
still
Dominion,
open.
yep. Kings Dominion is announcing Saturday morning. So I think personally it's going to be one of the bigger announcements, because I do believe, Andrew, and know you're probably going to know this more than I do, during one of Cedar Fair's quarterly calls when they released all that chart of like what they plan announcing for the next few years, every year had like a major, like one solo major attraction, correct?
Yep.
Like roller coaster related, I believe.
Yep. Yep. And so Kings Dominion, I feel like, is the wild card. I know a lot of people are turning towards Hurler, and I think that would be, if you're a betting man, I think you bet your money on Hurler. Something happens there, which is weird. I think it would have to be like an RMC or something, because they redid Hurler at Carowinds with GCI. So it's like, if they just wanted to like retrack it, I think you'd see something maybe along the lines of like Storm Chaser. Just hopefully with a better video. One that looks real.
Hopefully Jen's still watching.
I know that. I threw that one out there for her. Let's give the delay a few seconds and see the response. But I would say, this is my bold ass prediction here. I would not be shocked if it is something of decent size. I mean, I think we would have probably seen something by now. We would have probably saw, something. But so I don't think you're going to see the big like Ring Rider across the front gate like everyone always says it's rumored. But if you're talking maybe a mid-sized Gerstlauer, kind of like the monster at Adventureland or something, I would not be shocked if something like that happens. So.
Brian, what about you? What do you think?
I think it's going to be a 500-foot triple dueling inverted monster coaster. I have no idea.
Set the bar high.
Yep. But yeah, so the Nat King's Dominion did nothing today. So that's that. We'll find out in a couple days, and we will update our pretty spreadsheet then. Not announced today. Well, actually, half and half. Kings Island. Today they announced Winterfest, just like the other parks that are getting it, as well as in Soak City they are building Smokehouse, so I guess a barbecue restaurant.
Which let's pause on that for a second.
Sure.
When I think barbecue, I eat a lot of food. I like to think I'm a pretty good-looking dude, especially when at the water park. You know what I mean? But after a meal at a smokehouse, I don't think anyone's looking pretty. So why would you put that, like, you're literally talking about a restaurant where you're serving pounds of meat and you put that in your water park? I mean, fantastic. I love me some good barbecue. It's just kind of funny. But I'd rather have that in the regular park. But maybe they have a barbecue restaurant. I don't know.
I wonder if they're really going barbecue or just hot dog, hamburger.
Probably.
Chicken.
True. This is Cedar Fair.
Anyway. We'll see the addition of a smokehouse-style restaurant as well as other new amenities and improvements within Soak City. Food items such as smoked pulled pork, smoked or grilled wings, hand-breaded chicken tenders, and shrimp.
Well, you put the shrimp back in the water there, I guess.
So, Winterfest, we kind of already touched on that.
Yep.
It makes sense. The park's done it in the past. Bring it back, and I mean it's in the heart of a major city with large season pass base. But let me tell you, Mystic Timbers.
Yep.
I love that idea.
Yep.
Hold
on, I need to go back and re-edit and censor that.
Wait. Let's do the Disney version. I love that idea.
All right, to the shed. To the shed.
To the shed.
Mystic Timbers looks awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really know what to expect for it. I kind of always thought it was going to be like a White Lightning for them, but it actually looks like a pretty good ride.
Mhm.
It's probably everything out of the Cedar Fair that I'm probably like, I want to go ride next year.
Yep. Agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
The shed gimmick that they're doing is great. Whatever's in it. I'm still thinking Rebolton style kind of thing, but I guess we'll find out next year.
Yeah, it's kind of cool they're keeping this under wraps. I hope. I mean, I'm sure pretty much all the coaster boys are going to be disappointed because they're going to think it's like some super crazy something in there. But I think if they keep it under wraps till opening, I think that'll be pretty cool on their part. So.
And I love the name. The name, the logo, the merchandise is going to be awesome. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm just glad they didn't call it Grandson of Beast.
I was hoping for that.
That would have been kind of fun.
Red-headed stepchild of Beast. Like you could have gone so many different ways.
I know.
It's true. Nephew of the Beast.
Number
of the Beast.
I definitely gonna want to ride Whitewater Canyon there though, because that should offer up some awesome views of that ride.
Yeah.
So.
It's definitely a ride though. Like I would not want to try to go up and ride in like April when it opens. It's kind of like I'm glad we're going to Dollywood in the fall where like the trees will be all grown in. Because I feel like that's a ride that'll be you kind of want that full grown in trees and probably want to ride it at night. So.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Kings Island playing to their strengths, building a beautiful wood coaster that goes through the woods.
Yep.
Back to basics.
So why mess with perfection? Next up, Knott's Berry Farm. For everyone who has still been saying every single year that they are getting a Giga Coaster that wraps around the park. No, you're getting Soak City expansion. So
you mean a Giga Coaster that looks and feels very similar to Leviathan?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I still laugh every time I hear that.
Well, so side note, maybe I don't want to derail the conversation here, but do you think there was any legitimacy to that long-standing rumor?
I'm gonna say no. I don't see how that would have fit anywhere within Knott's Berry Farm.
It would have taken up the entire park.
Yeah, literally, Jen and I have been watching Let's Play videos of the new video game coming out, Planet Coaster, and in one of the videos, a YouTuber Jacksepticeye, he wanted to build a coaster that wrapped around the entire park, and that's what Knott's Berry Farm would have to do to build a Giga. Literally.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, but
it'd be awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I don't ever see it happening.
I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. Knott's Berry Farm is really focusing on kind of bringing back the family audience. I think I heard someone say they feel they've got enough steel, and now they need to bring it back to their roots.
And that makes perfect sense for them.
Yeah. That being said, something that wasn't part of the announcement today, but I think is still relevant, is Ghost Town 75th. I think you can consider that part of this year, but it's something that'll definitely impact them next year. I went down there a couple weeks ago and rode Ghost Rider. It is a fantastic ride. It is better than the year it opened.
Wow. Never thought I'd hear somebody say something good about that.
Well, I mean, really, they couldn't have gone much worse with it. So
That's true.
They could have gone Hades 360 or something. So I'm sure.
I got a headache now.
Okay, real random. I love Hades 360.
So it's funny you say that. Brian and I have a mutual friend that the other day on Facebook, it was on this day, and Brian posted a photo. Me and him were both standing in front of the ride there was a sign that says Hades 360 is running aggressively today. So I picked up a rock, threw it towards my head like this, took a photo, and said that's more comfortable than Hades 360. And one of our friends commented on there are you being sarcastic? Because that's a fantastic ride. I rode it last year and loved it. And we're like, wait, what? I know it was great back in the day as Hades, but it was awful.
I love that sign is up there as if it's never up there because it's up there every time the ride's open. Let's see. Hold on. Let's focus on your. Yep. That's awesome.
He's running aggressively today. Yeah, what? One day it's not going to be?
Yeah, magically it's going to be smooth again.
Yeah.
Um, but that's hold on. See.
Yeah. There it is, me throwing a rock in my head.
That's awesome.
More enjoyable than the ride itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think, Soak City, what is it exactly that they're getting? I honestly
I
can't
don't know. I
remember.
thought they were taking stuff out, but who knows?
From what it looked like, it's the standard 5 or 6 racer slide complex slide tower.
Let's see. I'm on their site now. Ghost Town. Yeah, by the way, we kind of got sidetracked there. Ghost Town does look awesome. That's always been my favorite part about Knott's Berry Farm. So cool to see what they're doing there.
Yeah, it's really cool.
They are building Shore Break, which is the 4-slide drop complex and 2 tube slides, as well as a ride called the Wedge, which kind of looks like a really small family raft ride, but I can't see it too well in this picture.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Soak City's kind of at a disadvantage. Why would you add an extra day if you're in Southern California as a tourist, just to do Soak City? When you've got Disneyland, you've got Universal, you've got Magic Mountain, you've got Knott's Berry Farm, and everything else that Southern California has to offer. You've got San Dimas, Raging Waters right there too. So, if, you know, it, I don't think they necessarily need to add all that much to Soak City. It's just it's a locals park.
All right. Anything else in terms of Knott's to talk about?
No, but I think speaking of another locals park,
We're doing Valley.
Michigan Adventures. Does anyone go there who's not local?
I've never been.
It's the one
Oh.
Cedar Fair park I have never been to.
No, I thought you'd never been to Canada's Wonderland, Brian.
That's true. That's true.
Ah, see, can't
That's
forget
true.
about Canada.
Can't forget about Canada.
Oh, you guys gotta go. You gotta go. Shivering Timbers is fantastic.
World of Fun, Valley Fair, Michigan's. Those are the 3 I still need to. Oh, and California's. Are the 4 I need to get to.
Don't forget Gilroy Garden. What up? What up?
Gilroy Gardens.
Somebody actually commented on our post today earlier stating, how come you haven't said what Geauga Lake is getting? I couldn't tell if they were being sarcastic or not, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah, you didn't want to break the news to them that it closed.
Yeah, so Michigan's Adventure so far has not announced anything. We'll see what happens. Valley Fair. So
I like the name.
yeah, love the name. North Star. Great name. Sounds like an 80s cartoon or something like that. But why are they going with a Starflyer after they all spent money on Windseekers? Now they're going with a Starflyer. Very weird.
Maybe Windseekers did not work.
In wind?
Yeah, the wind won. Wind won. Windseeker is 0.
They found all the wind and now they're done.
Now they're done. Now they need to find the North Star. But yeah, 240-foot Starflyer. Looks fun. Looks good. I mean, Starflyers are terrifying, in my opinion. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. How long do you think before they run it backwards?
That sounds even more terrifying.
Does any of them run it backwards?
Yeah, there's a few that do.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't sound appealing. I remember the first time I went on one. I think it was the one here at Great Adventure, and I did not know that it did the fake out where it goes up, comes down a bit, and then goes back up, and it freaked me out. Like, what the hell is going on right now? So I would not want to go backwards on one of these things. I'm good. So yeah, Valley Fair, North Star, Starflyer. Anything? Any comments, thoughts? Good, bad?
I mean, it's good to see that. Brian and I have been to Valley Fair. It's in the middle of like nowhere, so it's not like you'll get like cool views. Um, but I think it's a solid addition. I think it's probably a pretty easy to market thing. Like, hey, come look at our giant ass pole thing. Um,
Giant, giant ass pole.
yeah, interpret that as you will. Uh, But I mean, it's easier to market than the poor person at Dorney Park who's like, "Hey, media, come on, come to our media day for bumper cars." At least the Valley Fair person's like, "We're going to take you 300 feet in the air or whatever." So
Yep. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna. I mean, yeah, it might not offer views around the area, but I'm looking at the picture now. What is their hyper called? The
Oh,
green
Wild Thing.
wild thing.
wild thing, you make my heart sing.
Looks like it'll offer some good views of that, maybe.
Yeah.
I think this is the park. I know they hinted at it before on conference calls. I think this is potentially, unfortunately for you, Josh, with Kings Dominion. I think Valley Fair is the next park to really get that. Valley Fair and California Great America, the ones to really get that Carowinds treatment. So I think this is probably just a filler of, hey, let's just get something cheap and quick in there, and then save our money for down the road. And
Basically,
yes,
remind people the
I
park
said
exists.
cheap, quick, giant pole all within one process. Our five watchers will appreciate that, Joe.
We have 5 people. We had 10 at one point.
Oh, nice.
It didn't last long, but
They all tuned in for Cedar Point.
yeah, doesn't talk. Ryan, if you're still watching, like, still keep getting people to watch this show, or just log in 6 different times.
We should have just did like one part of Cedar Point after every other park to keep people interested. It's like how Coaster Radio always talks about how whenever they do a Disney episode, their like numbers are double.
Yep.
We should just added a random Disney category. We would have had 500 people watching.
Yeah.
So the second last thing was Worlds of Fun. They are also getting Winterfest. They are getting a new front gate, and they are getting 2 flat rides, Mustang Runner, another Troika, and Falcon's Flight, which is the, again, if I'm wrong on the ride type, somebody correct me, but I believe they're called the Condors, maybe? I don't know what they're actually called.
I think so, yeah.
But it's a ride. I don't know if it's the exact one, but I find it funny that Hershey Park is getting rid of their ride, which is the exact same, called Falcon something,
Yeah.
and now they're getting Falcon something with the same.
Do you think?
Is it the same ride?
I'm wondering, can we just take your ride and all of its branding too?
Can
We
we
don't have to do
buy the
anything.
ride and the name and the sign?
If you want to
Isn't that
throw in
what
the
happened with
operators,
Demon Drop?
that is true, but that's at least within the chain. This one, it's weird. I don't know if it is actually the Hershey Park one or not. I just find it very
Josh,
odd.
this is what you need next time you go to Hershey Park. Like, sit in like cabin 5 or whatever, and like
Write a name.
write your name in it, put a little sticky note on underneath it, and then and then I realized, oh, the second part of this would you'd have to go to Worlds of Fun.
Where the hell
But
is Worlds of Fun? Is it bad that I don't know this?
what?
Where is Worlds of Fun anyways?
Kansas City, Missouri. Right by Schlitterbahn. Not right by, but in the same metro area.
Okay.
Kansas City, actually, I went last year for my second time to World of Fun, but I spent a lot of time in Kansas City for other reasons, and it was actually a very fun little town. Excuse me, nothing out that way, but fun little town. So, I think the surprise here is Winterfest. I guess I know nothing about Kansas City weather, but I would have just assumed they were crappy winter weather, so I think Winterfest was kind of surprising.
I'm actually most surprised about a new front gate. I honestly don't remember from our visit to World of Fun. I don't remember anything about the gate.
It's because it's a weird walk. You walk from the parking lot and then you walk through like a pathway. It's not like as nice as like Busch Gardens Williamsburg, where you kind of walk from a parking lot through this like elongated path. The gate is it's pretty rinky-dink from what I remember last year. and kind of opens up into a little bare bones plaza. So not surprising.
That's right.
Their weather, their average highs in November is 53, average low is 34, and December is 41, and then 23.
Whoa, I guess
Probably.
this might be their cold weather test or something.
Yeah, probably not too much by way of coasters that'll be open, but
No.
that park was had a good selection of places to eat and areas around that could definitely look good with some nice lighting.
Yep. Should be cool. As I said, Winterfest, I think it's a great idea. It's good revenue for the park as well to get people there longer and buying more stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So lastly, let's circle back to our park that we teased at the very beginning, which seems to be the biggest announcement from today specifically, was California's Great America. They are getting Winterfest, and they are also converting Vortex from a stand-up into a floorless with a new name and theme called Patriot.
Well, not a new name. Park we just talked about already had a Patriot, but this one,
I was going to say, that's a perfect transition piece to tie it all back together.
Yep.
From one park with the Patriot to another.
I did that on purpose.
There you go.
Yeah, so with my home park up here in San Francisco being California's Great America, I'm excited for this. I won't say Vortex is a bad ride. I've been on, I believe, most of the stand-up B&Ms in the country at least, and that it's not the worst of them. It really isn't. I think the one at Carowinds is probably the worst of them. I don't know. I'm excited for this. I think it'll add some new life into the hometown plaza. I think a new name kind of helps tie it in with the theme. Vortex never really made sense in that part of the park. I'm sure at one point when it was Paramount it did, but not anymore. And I'm just excited to see it get a little bit of love. It's been teased for the past couple of years, and I think it's a good addition.
I'm just looking at an aerial picture of it right now.
It's like literally in the dead center of the park.
And that layout looks, visually it looks pretty boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you really can't see much of it from the park. All you
It's
can
all
really
like
see.
backstage areas, right?
Yeah, I mean the views that you have while waiting at the platform are the footers for Tidal Wave, the old shuttle loop coaster, and it's not too much to look at, but some great views of the rest of the park and Silicon Valley. So, anything to get some more people on it and get people through it a little faster. I think that's the biggest benefit of going from stand-up to floorless. You'll see your capacity increase dramatically in a park that does really need it.
Cool.
Yeah, I think it's good.
I agree. I mean, you get a little bit of longevity out of your rides instead of having to tear down and rebuild, so that's something.
Yeah, and it's B&M number 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's their second ride ever built after Iron Wolf.
Have you ridden Apocalypse here in Six Flags America?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, that would, for me, be the worst stand-up coaster.
I stand corrected. That is the worst B&M stand-up.
No, when you stand on that, you're not corrected. You are definitely not corrected. There's nothing correct about that ride. The theming is awesome.
Yeah, they actually did a pretty good job. And they made it actually look pretty new. Look at that. We go through all this Cedar Fair parks, and the only Six Flags park we end up really talking about is America. Yep. It does not happen that often.
Nope. Hey,
we should talk about Magic Mountain for a second, just to be with the normal kids. Magic Mountain, cool stuff. Okay.
Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, so we kind of talked about what we talk about here: King's Dominion and our thoughts. Wonderland. Any thoughts in terms of?
I always thought Canada's Wonderland was rumored for the big B&M. Josh, you're the expert here, but I always thought they were the B&M fave for a while. I don't know if I see that happening still because it's kind of late in the season, but I think maybe this will be like the lull before a big project next year or something.
I think so. I don't know. It's weird. Like I've been looking at some clips and some pictures and stuff. There is some land clearing going out in the water park area, which would hold true to some of these other parks that have been announcing water park expansions. They were rumored to get a multi-launch wing rider, going out from where the old stand-up Togo was and going into and over top of the water park. But I don't know. It's getting to the point now we have 3 parks left. Nothing major is going to go to Michigan's Adventure. Kings Island, yes, they're getting Mystic Timbers, but I don't know if I would consider that a large investment. I don't know what they were spending on it.
So do you think it's safe to say if Wonderland does not announce tomorrow, so King's Dominion announced this Saturday, and it turns out to be a small little something.
Yep.
GCI's just retrack it and hurler, nothing major or anything like that. Do you think that sets up Wonderland to get the big thing, or versus if King's Dominion comes out and is like, we're doing crazy RMC Storm Chaser on hurler, then you're like, Wonderland's not going to get much. I think that's how you got to look at it with really just 2 parks left to announce. I think if one park announces something big, the other one's not getting anything big.
So RMC treatment of hurler, what would you classify that as? Medium or large as a project?
Man, that's the thing. I'd rather see an RMC treatment of Grizzly, but
I'd say it's probably a medium level project. So what you can do with the layout of hurler is not. I don't think it's that big.
No. So with that idea, there had been rumors of Wonderland's Canadian Mindbuster getting some sort of redo, RMC or GCI or something. So could we see 2 medium-sized projects versus a small and large?
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Another thought.
I've heard some really good things about Storm Chaser and some not so great things about Storm Chaser over there in Kentucky, but I think if both parks did something along the lines of that, not go for the crazy RMC thing, but something that's fun and marketable, I think that's actually a really solid addition. It'll be interesting if King's Dominion goes like full on RMC, because now the rumors are coming out that Roar might go RMC up at Six Flags, and that's what, 40, an hour and a half up the road. So.
And Rocky Mountain definitely is working on something. At least they've been posting pictures on their Instagram over the last couple of days of stuff being constructed and announcements yet to be made. So we shall see. Hype indeed. So I guess that kind of wraps up Cedar Fair's 2017 announcements from today. If anything major comes back, maybe we'll join up again and talk again about the major ones. Yeah. And if anything else major happens and we all have nothing to do,
yeah, exactly.
We can hop on and go from there.
Yeah. So thanks to 6 people are watching. I don't know if that counts the 3 of us included.
Probably.
So thanks, Ryan.
Yes,
thanks,
Ryan.
Thanks, Jen. Hope you enjoyed your private show. You can pay us by donating on PayPal.
I'll set my page up for donations. You can donate. I'll split the proceeds. So Jen, Ryan, and Joe, thank you very much. That's your own person. So it's 3 of them watching. The 3 of us watching.
That's 6. That's 6. Boom. There you go. Mystery solved.
I'm actually not in YouTube, so.
We got 7 watching there.
That mystery was easier to solve than the King's Dominion hurler mystery.
All right, guys, let's call it a night. And
all right.
Have a good one, everybody.
Talk later. See ya.
See ya.